Hello and welcome back to Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, where today we are going to get past having just one badge. We're going to get a second badge. At least I'm pretty sure we are. We're also going to be still looking for Shiny Lugia on the side, but who knows if we'll find that. Hey there, Outlander. Guy, you weren't even looking at me. My bug Pokemon are tough. Let's battle. Dude was turned 90 degrees from me, but still saw me. And yes, Outlander, it is Hoenn again. And because it's Hoenn again, it is Shroomish again. Shroomish is in the party. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they lowered the level at which Shroomish learns Spore down to 40. So Shroomish doesn't have to lie to us for as long as it used to. Definitely take 40 over, what was it, 54? I lost. I thought I had you. Of course, in the modern games, it's 35, isn't it? Oh, hey, I'll take a Marshtomp. Wait, no, I won't. I'm specifically not taking Marshtomp until I get, what was it, Rock Throw? Some kind of move at, like, level 25. My Pokemon and I rule. Check us out. Oh, it's still 40 in Scarlet and Violet? Okay, then. For some reason, I thought it was 35. And yep, just look it up. It is in fact still 40. Ouch, I scrape. I have to put on a bandage. Yeah, we do still miss Sky Uppercut on Breloom, but that's what Heart Scales are for. Not exactly hard to come across Heart Scales in this game, considering Hoenn is the region that added heart. Oh, wow. That was a fast skitty. Hoenn was the region that added heart scales and also the ability to farm them easily with a certain fish. Skitty, the kitten Pokemon. Skitty is known to chase around playfully after its own tail. In the wild, this Pokemon lives in holes in the trees of forests. It is very popular as a pet because of its adorable looks. As with Soul Silver, we are catching all of the Hoenn native Pokemon that we find. And we are doing so in standard Pokeballs. Except for when our Mudkip crits things into oblivion, which it has done far too many times now. I think there have been 4 or 5 catches that I have missed out on because Mudkip decided to crit for the last hit. Okay, apparently we don't even need a crit for Whismur. And yeah, Outlander, I do in fact still need to fill out the Hoenn roster sourced from specifically Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I already got them from Ruby and Sapphire, but this is another version of Hoenn, so we're getting another version of the Hoenn Dex. And if I want to go really all into it, I'm going to have to play through Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire a total of 4 times to get myself all 4 forms of Deoxys in Pokeballs. That's going to be annoying. Still need to play through Pokemon Legends Arceus one more time for a Pokeballed Enamorus so that I can have both forms of that. What have we here? Will that girl spot me if I'm all the way down? Ooh, an Nincada. I need that. But it's got Final Gambit as its first move. So I'm going to need it to get in the ball instantly, or else never click Final Gambit. Please, Nincada, get in the ball instantly. Okay, no Final Gambits here. Nincada, the trainee Pokemon. Oops. Said Nincada lives underground, but I need to know the rest. Nincada lives underground. It uses its sharp claws to carve the roots of trees and absorb moisture and nutrients. This Pokemon can't withstand bright sunlight, so avoids it. That last sentence. Can't withstand bright sunlight, so avoids it. I feel like we need some additional word in there.
Let me teach you how strong my adorable Pokemon is.
Last time we came through here, that Meryl was not a fairy. And we were also many, many steps further back on this ribbon road.
You're a notch above me. Pokemon that possess cuteness and power. That's ideal, I think.
Also, the fact that there's a cut tree on the screen has reminded me I need to teach somebody cut. I can't teach anybody cut. That's okay. Wasn't planning to keep everyone currently in the party I should go and get rid of Beautifly because Beautifly has already fully evolved and thus I do not need it anymore. What am I doing battling random Zigzagoons? Yeah, Outlander, it would have been nice if these were an Emerald remake, but I'm fine with them being Ruby and Sapphire remakes. The only thing I'm not fine with is the fact that they decided to tease us with the Battle Frontier. Like, if they had, say, ever done a DLC that added the Battle Frontier, it would have been fine. Would have had no problems. But instead, oh, Battle Frontier coming soon. Except soon is never. Just using Mud Slap on this Nincada because that, I know, will not get rid of it. I do need a second Nincada so that I can evolve one. Because this is the only place they're found. I don't need a Talo. This poor thing. Final Gambit instead of Scratch. Wow, both my Ninkados are modest. Yeah, it is sad how bad Ninjask is. You can tell the thing was born specifically only to Baton Pass. Yeah, this will do for now. Some would say that I will regret spending all of my money on standard Pokeballs, but those people are not busy catching all of these Pokemon in standard Pokeballs. Dang, I could have had a second Skitty. Right, I kind of got Ninkate out so that I could teach it cut. Yeah, Outlander. Surskit. Poor thing. Our first water bug, but it doesn't stay a water bug. If the tunnel doesn't go through, then I'll just go over the top. But hey, at least these days we've got Araquanid to cover the water bug roll. In fact, I used Araquanid to defeat the shiny Chi-Yu raid that they've got going on. Last time we went through Hoenn, Sturdy hadn't been buffed. Imagine getting KO'd by Mudslap. Losing made me tired. It's no big deal if there's no tunnel to a hike or mountains or roads. Oh, what if I should do? We were just out on our walk, Pico and I, when we were attacked by an odd thug. And then the scoundrel made off with my darling Pico. Where are you, Pico? This tunnel is the reason that I didn't bother to stay in the previous route until I caught a Whismur. Because we all know what is the only Pokemon in this tunnel. gonna have to catch 3 of them because I don't think Whismur, Loudred, or Exploud are found anywhere else. Other than, you know, the route just before this. Point is, you can't find a wild Loudred, as far as I recall. Or did they change it? Isn't Loudred in a Victory Road in some game or other? Might not be this one. But there might be a game where it is. Oh no, it's in Victory Road and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Great. Oh, and it was in Ruby and Sapphire as well. Okay. I was just misremembering then. Whismur is very timid. If it starts to cry loudly, it becomes startled by its own crying and cries even harder. When it finally stops crying, the Pokemon goes to sleep, all tired out. Oh, so it's Whismur, the Whisper Pokemon. Because of course the Whisper Pokemon is known for crying loudly. That just makes sense. What, are you coming? Come and get some, then. Are you sure you want me to get some? Ah, keelhaul it all! This hostage Pokemon turned out to be worthless. To think I made a getaway into this tunnel to nowhere. And you, now you're here to battle me. Really? Ah, yes, because we need a move that lowers the power of electric moves on a ground type. There's a reason they got rid of Mud Sport. Almost everything that learns it is immune to electric. Ugh. Ugh. Is this the end of my evil deeds? Yeah, someone shouting out Peepo in a horror game would at least somewhat add a comedic element to said horror. But hey, you don't have to be a horrible PS1 Resident Evil clone to add comedy to a horror game. You can just be PS1 Resident Evil. This is plain not right. The boss told me this would be a slick and easy job to pull. All I had to do was steal some parts from Devon. You want to back that badly, then take them. This dude needs to work on his posture. Like, dude's got a hunch. Pico, am I glad to see you're safe.
My Pico owes her life and freedom to you, lass. They call me Mr. Briny, and you are... Ah, so it's Garnet, is it now? Then I sincerely thank you, Garnet. If there's ever a thing I can do to help you in turn, don't you hesitate to tell me. If I'm to be found, it will always be at my cottage by the sea near Petalburg Woods. Come, Pico, it's high time we're underway to home.
Pequee to you too.
We learn all sorts of things at the trainer's school. I want to test things out for real.
On the subject of Resident Evil, having seen a little bit more footage of Resident Evil Requiem from a demo they did at whatever games show they revealed it at.
I slacked off in school, that's why I lost.
There's some interesting speculation going on that is...
I'll have to redo some courses at the trainer's school. If I don't, Roxanne will be steamed.
Interesting speculation going on that has significant grounds to exist. Because we've only seen one area, this hospital place where the character, I forget her first name, but young Miss Ashcroft, where she wakes up.
I study at school and I study on the way home too.
But the thing about said demo, there's one monster in it, and I mean, yeah, Outlander, it might not look amazing yet, but visually it's impressive, and I mean, they literally only give you a lighter in that demo. Why did I water gun a Shroomish? They literally only give you a lighter in that demo, so like, there's going to be more to the game than that. But the thing is, there's one creature that chases you in said demo. One very large woman. And when this very large woman moves around, there are two sounds that get made that happen to be very reminiscent of a certain enemy in Resident Evil 1. And this, Outlander, this segment does take place in Raccoon City. It's specifically a location that was named but never shown in one of the Outbreak games. So, like, we're in Raccoon City for it. But that just adds to it, because we're in Raccoon City, and this enemy makes sounds specific to a certain other enemy in Resident Evil 1 that... a certain enemy that, you know, might just be able to survive a nuke going off.
I'm in shock, I lost?
Specifically, she makes the exact kind of screaming noise that Lisa Trevor made. Like, it's the same sound effect. It's not even re-recorded or anything. It is the same sound effect that they used for Lisa Trevor's screams. Or shouts, or what have you.
Oh, I'll never become an elegant trainer like Roxanne this way.
And the other noise was chain rattling. That, I mean, Lisa Trevor had lots of chain rattling noises as well. It is very possible that this incredibly enormous woman who has apparently been infected and in Raccoon City for, you know, decades, It's possible that it's Lisa Trevor. Because, like, we never actually kill her. She just jumps in a hole. There's no way jumping in a hole would eliminate the host from whom they basically discovered the G virus. And yeah, 100% they're tying things back to the old games with this one. That's the whole point. Like, Requiem, that's about thinking back to old stuff. Going back to Raccoon City after all these years. Yeah. And going back to Raccoon City after all these years while playing as the daughter of one of the protagonists of Outbreak, who thus canonically survived.
Exploring a cave isn't like walking on a road. You never know when wild Pokemon will appear. Suspense.
And, like, we got to see a destroyed RPD, too. So, like, 100% they want us thinking about past Resident Evil games. And boy, am I interested to start thinking about past Resident Evil games. Maybe they'll make Resident Evil Gaiden canon, and the Leon we've been playing as in Resident Evil 4, maybe he's a bioweapon, and that's why he's able to do all the things he does. Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 6. We also played as him in Resident Evil 6. Can't forget that.
Oh, the thing you have. It's a Pokénav Plus. That means you're a trainer. Then you should try this item. It's a Miracle Seed. If a Pokemon holds that item, its Grass-type moves become stronger. Besides Miracle Seed, I think there are other convenient items for Pokemon to hold.
Yeah, there are. Oh, yeah. Bring on all the deep cut characters. Yeah, we gotta see Moira. We gotta see Bioweapon Fake Leon. What's her name? The girl from Resident Evil Gaiden. I do need another slack off, and I am almost positive that you cannot find Vigoroth or Slacking anywhere. Yeah, Revelations 1 does have a ton of characters who nobody will ever recognize because Revelations 1 was weird. A game that really wanted to be a TV show and yet didn't think about having a coherent plot. Or, in many cases, likable characters. Yeah, Revelations 1 is a good game. I like it. But its cast is strange, and its story is the worst in all of the franchise, and that's saying something. Mr. Briney, where are you? I was told that if he was going to be anywhere, it would be in his cabin by the sea. I'm at his cabin by the sea. Where's Mr. Briney? Did I miss something somewhere? Is there something else I'm supposed to do? Guess I gotta go back through Petalburg. Yeah, 2 boats, then a secret 3rd boat, but also don't forget the villain's plan is I'm going to cause a bioterror incident so that people take bioterror seriously. Going to threaten to make the world's oceans uninhabitable. Also that people realize that this is a very real threat that I am making to them right now. Right, I need to give the Devon parts back. That's what I need to do. Oh, how did it go? Did you get my Devon parts? You did, you got them back. You really are a great trainer. I know, as my thanks, I'll give you a great ball again. Oh yes, young lady, please come with me. Revelations 2 is another Resident Evil game with a silly plot. But I think my biggest issue with Revelations 2 is the fact that it was very clearly made for the PS3 and the environments show it. Everything is so barren, all the rooms are basically just cubes. This is the top floor of the Devon Corporation. Our president's office is on this floor. I can't tell you how grateful I am for what you've done for our company. Could you wait here for just a moment? Like, wow, that was really just a moment. Our president would like to have a word with you. Please come with me. Yeah, if you go play if you play Revelations 2, and then you play, say, Resident Evil 2 Remake, the difference in environment design is staggering for just one console generation. I mean, even Resident Evil 6 was on PS3, and that was significantly higher budget in terms of environment design. Please, go ahead.
I'm Mr. Stone, the president of the Devon Corporation. I heard just now that we have quite a bit to thank you for. So you helped out my staff not just once, but twice. there's a favor I'd like to ask of a reliable trainer like you. Now, I want you to know I'm a president you can trust.
Yes, when someone says, I'm a president you can trust, that is the most trustworthy thing they could say. Mm-hmm.
I'd never be so mean as to ask a favor for nothing in return. Here, give me your Pokénav Plus for a moment. The function that I just added to your Pokénav Plus is called BuzzNav. It is an indispensable tool for any trainer who is traveling out in the world. Use it and you'll be able to get the latest news from around the region and from your own friends, anytime and any place. Now, let me get to the important issue of what it is I need you to do. I want to ask you to deliver this letter to a man named Stephen. You should find him in Dewford. You'll have to cross the sea to reach Dewford, of course. I'll ask Mr. Briny, the old sailor who lives in that hut on Route 104, to help with the crossing. Go find him and he should agree to help you. I'm counting on you, young lady. If you're ever unsure of what to do, just come and talk with me again.
It's all just fancy displays of rare stones. I mean, let's be real. If I walked into a company and their lobby had this display on the floor, yeah, I'd stop and look. That would be pretty neat. Hey, Garnet, has your Pokédex completed any entries yet? Mine pretty much rules. I went on a Pokemon catching frenzy in Petalburg Woods until I ran out of Pokeballs. Yeah, I caught a lot of Pokemon there too, but I didn't run out of Pokeballs. Oh yeah, I passed by Mr. Briny in Petalburg Woods. I bet he was on his way home to his cottage on Route 104. I guess you wouldn't know since he just moved here and all, but they say that that old guy used to be an amazing sailor. So this is the third time that we have been told that Mr. Briny lives in a cottage on Route 104. There was in the cave, then in the Devon Corporation, then immediately upon leaving the Devon Corporation. How many times do we need to be told that Route 104 is where Mr. Briny lives? Are we going to go to Route 104 and talk to Mr. Briny and say, "Oh, hello, you've made it to Route 104, where I live"? Oh, whoops.
Oh, if it ain't Garnet, you're the one who saved my Pico. Aye, but we owe you for that day. What's that? You want to sail with me? Is that why you came to Route 104, which is where I live and have my cottage? What's this all about, then? A letter bound for Dewford? Certainly, that'd be no problem at all. If you start here on Route 104, you just have to sail south and you'll be there in no time. You've come to the right man, because I live on Route 104. Shall we hoist sail for Dewford at once, on my non-sailboat? Dewford, we're a-coming, anchors away. Pico, we're setting sail, my darling. Again, I cannot stress this enough on my boat that has no sails.
I feel like we should have been able to see Dewford there. Like, in terms of the distance between them if we were to actually surf. Yeah, Dewford should have been visible.
Ahoy! We've struck land in Dewford, lass. I suppose you'll be heading ashore to deliver that letter to what's-his-name or whomever. If you're ever feeling lost and adrift, though, try calling in on the island's Pokémon gym. The leader, Brawly, surely knows everyone and everything that goes on in his town. And now we've got a new cave to explore. Hey, you. Gets awfully dark ahead. It'll be tough trying to explore. Well, for us hikers, helping out those that we meet is our motto. Here you go, I'll pass this on to you. Teach that TM flash to a Pokemon and use it. It lights up even the inky darkness of caves. Unfortunately, this will be the first route where I do not, or first area, where I do not get any manner of Dex Nav crown. Because I don't gotta catch no Zubats or Geodudes. It's interesting that up until this point, every Pokemon we've encountered has been Hoenn native.
The mural ahead has drawn a lot of attention lately. The other day, Team Something in red or blue suits came here in numbers.
Alright, we're not allowed deeper in the cave until we beat Brawly in this game. So yeah, I think, Outlander, they force us to do Brawly on our first visit to Dewford. Not just before Watson. Because I don't know that Mr. Briny will even take us to Slateport until after we've given the letter to Steven. And incidentally, I think not being able to go deeper into the cave also prevents us from getting a Sableye, which completely trivialized Brawly in the original Sapphire, because he was incapable of touching ghosts.
Which do you prefer,
Fishing in the sea or a stream? I mean, aesthetically, probably a stream. But, like, if you're fishing from a boat out in the sea, then if you go to the right places, you can get some really interesting fish. Then again, streams also have interesting fish. So do ponds and lakes. Could never say no to a good Arapaima or Gar. Of course, I also am quite fond of sharks. Though, fun fact, if you agree that sharks are fish and that tunas are fish, then that means humans are also fish. Cladistically. As is every mammal. And quite possibly every vertebrate.
Back in deep-sea fishing, I lost spectacularly.
Because, yeah, sharks split off from the other fish before mammals did.
Fishing is the greatest, whether it's in the sea or in a stream. You agree with me, right?
I was born in a village far from the sea, so I've always dreamed of coming to Hoenn.
Oh.
You grew up with the raging seas, didn't you? I wouldn't say they're raging. San Diego's waters are... They're not the most active. Like, I mean, we do get some big waves from time to time, but, like, I wouldn't call them raging. Even the salty smell of the sea is fresh to me. I'm really glad I made this trip. I still want to make more memories on my trip, though, so battle me again. Pass. What do people do if they need to go take a break? What if my rod hooks a big one while I'm in the washroom? It just can't leave. Well, sir, you are in luck because you are fishing in the ocean. And, depending on what it is you need to do, nobody's ever gonna be the wiser. It's one thing to relieve yourself in a pool, but in the ocean, and careful there, Outlander. We didn't move to Hoenn at the start of the game. We moved to Little Root at the start of the game. As for where we came from, anybody's guess. I would guess Petalburg. I lost because I'm trying not to go to the washroom. Oh no, I've got this feeling I'll hook a big one. I mean, you could just reel in your line. Forgot how much of a redesign this place got. Yo, how's it going, Champ to be Garnet? Doofer's gym leader, Brawly, commands fighting-type Pokemon. Going against him with normal-type Pokemon is asking for trouble. Fighting-type Pokemon will lay a serious smackdown on normal-type Pokemon, so stay on your toes. Hey, okay, go for it. Now we can actually get fresh water from the vending machine. Don't you dare brush me off. It's not my fault if you cry. Yeah, if they did have us moving here from somewhere else entirely, what do you want to bet it would be Kanto? And thus make it so that X and Y, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and then Sun and Moon all had us moved from Kanto. I'm getting real tired of Pokemon games being like, oh, you just moved to this region. Where from? Oh, probably Kanto. Though, at least in Scarlet and Violet, we did just move from somewhere else. But our mom has a Squavit, so it was probably Galar. I don't think they actually say specifically where we moved from in Scarlet and Violet, just that we had only just moved. Crying noise. I lost! A long time ago at Dewford Gym, it was always dark inside. We trained our minds by practicing in the dark. Was always dark inside, as if it isn't still. I mean, I guess they've got this lit hallway. Might is right. Come on. But yeah, I'm getting real tired
of Pokemon protagonists having moved somewhere. Thankfully, Sword and Shield, we were just from where we were. And the reason we weren't familiar with the rest of Galar is because we were out in the freaking sticks. But, like, too many Pokemon games just rely on, hey, you just moved here. Now go start an adventure. Because after all, what's the first thing you want to do when you move to a new house? Leave it and never look back. Not get used to your new living arrangement, no. Leave it entirely. Not enough power. Your skill overcame my strength. Your technique is commendable. So, go here and then up, over here.
There's no need for Brawly to be involved. I'll crush you.
What if our Pokemon X and, or not X, Pokemon ZA protagonists, what if they just moved in from Kanto? That would be stupid.
But how? How could I lose so easily?
At least, now we know that it's not only going to be Kanto Pokemon getting new Mega Evos. We got our first non-mythical Mega Evo for a Gen 6 Pokemon in Hawlucha. And it's looking like we're going to get one for Malamar, too.
I'm not going to waste this loss. I'll use it to motivate me to train. One day I'll become a gym leader. No, I'll become the Pokemon League champion.
Alright, looks like we got to go left side if we want to get through here. So left until we bump, down 2 steps, left until we bump, up till we bump, then right. Hey there, Cribster.
I'm Brawly, due for gym leader. I've been churned in the rough waves of these parts. And I've grown tough using the cave at the outskirts of this town as my training ground, as well as using the equipment in this gym. So, you want to challenge me? Let me see what you're made of.
Not liking that leer before the Makuhita comes out. And this thing uses Vital Throw, which always hits, so Mud Slapping wouldn't really help. Growl could help. I mean, sure, I could just Water Gun, but it'd probably take like 3 or 4. Oh. Well, I guess we're gonna Growl until it doesn't bulk up. Yeah, Curbster Brawly did get a nice glow up with his design. Oh, it only takes 2 water guns. We could have been done with this by now. And of course the sand attack actually mattered. This is a very rude Makuhita, but I'm glad it's not trying to just straight up destroy me. I'm also glad that our water gun didn't bring it down to heal range. But, yeah, that was a few too many sand attacks. Yeah, I'd argue that most characters in the remakes did get nice glow-ups with their design. Whoa, wow, you made a much bigger splash than I expected. Is it because I used a water type? No, Mudkip, you're not evolving yet. You will get to, just not yet. Okay, you've got me. Take this gym badge. The Knuckle Badge makes all Pokemon up to level 30, even those you get in trades, obey without question. Huh. You know what? I think you can make full use of this, too. I'm sure this will help your Pokemon bulk up muscle. Bulk Up temporarily enhances the Pokemon's muscle power. The move boosts both attack and defense stats of the Pokemon. I can see your talent becoming a giant wave that causes a storm of astonishment with trainers one day. I look forward to the day when I can surf your giant wave. By the way, have you been to Granite Cave? Yeah, but there were people blocking the way. It's located to the north of this town. It's full of fascinating stuff, like rare stones and wall paintings thousands of years old. My friend Steven rushed to the cave after I told him about it. Yeah, Outlander, apparently Brawly is friends with Steven. And yet, despite being friends, he only just now got around to telling him about this cave on the island where he lives. Hi, Abra. Guess they really want us to be able to use Flash, huh? Speaking of which... just gonna load everything onto Ninkata. So it occurs to me, my other Nincada knows Final Gambit. And Shedinja knows all the moves. Wow, they really shortened this cave. I thought they said that you needed Flash in this cave. But yeah, Shedinja keeps all the moves that the Nincada had. So you can get a Shedinja with Final Gambit, which would just be, you know, the most useful Pokemon in the world. Truly. So in the ancient world, their primal forms once held this much power? The super ancient Pokemon, what terrible strength. But this appearance here seems somehow different from Mega Evolution. Seems my questions will not be answered today. You are? I see. It's a pleasure, Garnet. My apologies. My name is Steven. I'm interested in rare stones, so I travel here and there. Today my journey brought me here, but what about you? Oh, a letter from me. Why, thank you. It must have been some trouble to track me down. I suppose I must repay you in some way. Let me see. I will give you this TM. Please accept it. It contains my favorite move, Steel Wing, which most Pokemon on my team can't even learn. If you don't mind me asking, do you feel anything in particular when you look up at this wall? A primal world lost thousands of years in the past. A legendary Pokemon of tremendous power became humanity's greatest threat. The terror aroused by that power is clear to see in this ancient artwork. Yes, but not all power is terrible. Your Pokemon are clearly quite capable as well. Looking at you all together, I think that you have in you what it takes to become a Pokemon League champion. As long as you keep training, that is. Good luck to you. I must be going now. Can we see the whole thing? Yeah, we can. So, in the top left there, it's hard to see here because it's darkened at the top, whereas during the earlier scene, everything was brightly lit. Yeah, in the top left there, there's a strangely triangular comet type thing. Gee, wonder who that could be. And I guess they weren't preventing us from getting Sableye because this is the only room of this cave where anything can spawn. Feels weird that they shortened Dewford Cave so much, when so much of these remakes are pretty much one-to-one in terms of environments. But I guess they did it so they could put a giant mural there. But also they made that one guy a liar, saying that it gets dark. But I guess maybe there's another ladder down that we can't get to just yet because we don't have a bike. Makuhita, the Guts Pokemon. Makuhita has a tireless spirit. It will never give up hope. It eats a lot of food, gets plenty of sleep, and it trains very rigorously. By living that way, this Pokemon packs its body with energy. Yeah, Curbster, it is weird how small Kyogre and Groudon are. But they're pocket monsters. What are you gonna do? But yeah, they always the way they're depicted until you actually see their real sizes. It's like, oh yeah, these things are huge. But no, No, they are not. In fact, there's a fun little comparison you can make. If we cut across franchises here to another franchise that me and I believe the both of you are interested in that contains monsters. Groudon is the same size as a Celtis. Not a Celtis Queen. A Celtis. Same size. Oh, we can't find Sableye on this floor. Nor Aaron. We have to get a bike before we can get either of them. That feels wrong. Another fun fact about Pokemon sizes, Steelix, who was once the longest Pokemon in the franchise, is as long from snout to tail tip as your average Kurapeko is from snout to tail tip. So yeah, Groudon is a Celtis, Steelix is a Kurapeko, and Wailord, a slightly larger than average Royal Ludroth. Pokemon are small.
Oh, it looks as though you have delivered your chit good and proper. Ah, but that reminds me, I've had a message from President Stone saying he has another favor to ask. It's about them Devon parts that you recovered for him before. Seems as though they should go to some fellow called Stern at Slateport Shipyard. This old sea dog will see you there safely. Weigh anchors, we're for Slateport. Which is the opposite direction of Route 104, which is where I live. Just in case you forgot. Slateport City, is it? Anchors away. Pico, we're setting sail, my darling. In what I must again stress is not a sailboat. Ahoy! We've made land in Slateport. I suppose you're off to visit Captain Stern and deliver those Devon parts. I've laid anchor at ports around the world, but Slateport's the best.
I think part of what makes people think, oh yeah, Groudon is massive, is the Jirachi movie with its fake Groudon. Because that thing actually was enormous.
You're the best.
Yeah, there's soft sand hidden on this beach somewhere, but I ain't got no dowsing machine, and I ain't got no time to care.
The best port was the best trainer.
Yeah, the anime sizes definitely feel more right a lot of the time. And having variety in sizes is nice. We do finally get size variety in more recent games, but... I'm going to show you how great my Pokemon are, but don't cry. Like, the difference between a small mark Pokemon and a large mark Pokemon is pretty significant. And I appreciate that. Having variety is good. But yeah, according to the Pokedex, by a Charizard size depiction, the dream of one day flying on Charizard back. Yeah, that don't work for anyone who's shorter than like 3 feet tall. Speaking of 3 feet tall, Lucario's a shrimp. I think it's 4 feet tall, but still. My guy is tiny.
I lost, but I won't cry. If one of my Pokemon knew the move for carrying me across water on its back, I could get rid of this inner tube. The burger I ordered is taking forever. It's making me so totally crabby.
Well, if it's making you crabby, then I guess that makes me Kingler. Yeah, Curbster, I got Charizard beat by 11 inches, so... From my perspective, the vast majority of Pokemon are just tiny, tiny things.
Gosh, I'm starving.
Curbster, the secret that tiny crab is holding is scissors. Pinching is apparently just a very effective strategy. Just ask Trapinch.
There's something special about the food at the Seashore House, isn't there? It's not like it's particularly good or anything, but I never want to miss out.
Hey, what's the deal? Are you after my snow cone? No, I am not. So, just a fun little fact here. Eternamax Eternatus is the largest Pokemon in the franchise right now, at 100 meters in length. Exactly. It is exactly 100 meters long. Which means that, it's about 11 meters shorter than Gen Moran. And yeah, it's pretty frequent that the Pokédex will go out of its way to mention how good a Pokemon is as something only for the stat to be mediocre. But you have to consider being good at something in general and being good at that something in the context of a battle. There's two different things. Like, speed in a battle isn't necessarily about your top speed. Your reaction speed, your agility in general. Because if you can go Mach 2, but you can't turn worth a darn, and you can't, or if you can't get up to that speed in a short amount of time, well, then it doesn't matter in a battle where seconds mean everything.
Where did you come from?
Nope, not yet, Mudkip.
Oh, it melted. My snow cone.
Boring battles aren't worth the effort. Fiery, hot battles are what toughen up trainers in Pokemon. Please have a fire type. And hey, at least Primal Kyogre is actually as long as an Orca. Actually, a long Orca. Most Orcas don't get as big as Primal Kyogre, which, hey, 32 foot 2. We'll take it. Man, it feels wrong that Arctozolt is bigger than me. Because he's just got a little guy for a head, but I guess his lower body is big. Sandy Shocks is also shockingly tall at 7'7". Yeah, there are some Pokemon that are way smaller than you think. Some Pokemon that are way bigger than you would think, and very few, I would say, that are actually exactly as big as you would expect. And then you get to all of the snake Pokemon who are all a lot longer than you expect them to be. Like, Silicobra is as long as Corviknight is tall, but Silicobra, you look at it, you don't think, oh yeah, that thing's 7 feet long. Ew, I'm all thirsty. Maybe I'll have a soda pop. Like, I look at Silicobra and I think, oh yeah, that looks about 3 feet. No, it's 7'3".
If you're on the lookout for a battle at the Seashore House, you'll find no hotter trainer than me, matey.
And then you get to Pokemon like Regidrago, who, like, just from the way he's shaped, I expect him to be a lot smaller than he is. Because, like, he's an orb with 2 little legs and 2 big, weird arms that are like dragon head parts. But this orb stands 6'11". Hatterene is also considered 6'11", but I believe that that should be considered cheating, considering the actual body of Hatterene is much smaller and fits inside what is mostly just hair. So Hatterene cheats. Unless they count, like, the tentacle arm coming off the hat as part of the body? I guess that could make sense. But the main body of Hatterene is, like, less than half of her total height, so yeah, probably about 3 feet. That certainly was a hot battle. I can accept that loss, matey. Whenever I'm in Slateport, I enjoy hot battles and ice-cold soda pop. I'm the owner of the Seashore House. You can call me Mr. C. What I love above all is to see hot Pokemon battles. Let me see if your heartburn's hot. If you can defeat all the trainers here, I'll reward your effort. Okay. You're scorching hot. Those battles blazed. I'm more than pleased. As thanks for showing me your hot streak, I want you to take these. It's half a dozen bottles of soda pop. You know, in Gen 5, we had a Pokemon battle in a room that was basically the size of this corner to, not outside, to like right about here. So here to here. So bigger than the amount of empty space than is in this place. And yet that room got trashed just from 2 starter Pokemon battling. And then in this game, they're like, oh yeah, battle all of these trainers in this building. And if you do, I will give you good things. Why does this building not get trashed? Why is our room in Gen 5 the only place that ever got trashed by a Pokemon battle? Yo, trainer, whether you're hot to trot or cool cat not, chill at my papa's spot. Little kids can dart around so quickly. You don't dare take your eyes off them for an instant. It's very taxing. Mine's with my Pokemon, so he should be okay, but... I'm thirsty. I could go for a soda pop at the Seashore House. Feels weird that Archaludon or Archaludon, whatever you want to pronounce it as. I'm gonna go with Archaludon. Is only 6'7". He's not gonna be a bridge across much at that size. And because Pokemon... Aww. Because Pokemon are measured in meters in Japanese. Specifically in meters, going up to 1 decimal place. Getting famished. My inner tube looks like a giant donut. Yeah, specifically because of that, there are no Pokemon that are exactly as tall as me. The closest Pokemon are 1 inch shorter than me, with the next closest being 3 inches taller. Our sandcastle's taking a long time to make. You can have this. Hey, look, there's the soft sand. It's not just on the beach, it's given to us. We're going to get all the sand from the beach and make a ginormous castle. Can't wait to see the palisand that makes.
Then we're going to be the king and queen. You can be a servant.
I thought you were going to get all the sand from the beach. Why'd you give me some? You've shrunk your castle.
The water around these parts is clean, but my zigzagoon still picks up litter from the shoreline at times. Dirty water becomes rain and joins our rivers, which we drink from. If we pollute the sea, it all comes back to haunt us eventually.
Doesn't a beach umbrella look like a giant flower?
Yeah, Curbster, it would be nice if the games would allow for a toggle between Imperial and Metric. But no, everyone knows English is only spoken in America. If you want to have Metric, I don't know, play in Italian or German or something. Yes, as far as Pokemon Heights go, anything that is Inteleon, Blaziken, Urshifu, Garchomp, type null, or smaller is shorter than me, which means I'm taller than Registeel, and that feels wrong. Why is Regidrago bigger than Registeel? I guess they're counting the extendy uppy parts of his dragon arm thing.
Mommy!
Sorry, Mudkip, not yet. So let's look at some Pokemon that I'm taller than, that feels weird to be taller than.
If you look at the beach from the sky, it looks like a big flower garden.
I wouldn't really say that. Battle with me? Let's see here. I'm taller than Meganium. Taller than Regice. Electivire. Electivire is one of those ones that seems a whole lot bigger than he is, but he's still pretty decently big at 5'11". I'm taller than Iron Hands. Feels weird that Gigalith and Charizard are the same height. And so's a Alolan Golem. What? Dude's just a big orb. Every Pokemon that's just a big orb feels like it's bigger than it should be. Cofagrigus was definitely built to contain people smaller than me. At 5'7". Blastoise is only 5'3". Metagross is also 5'3". I hope that's 5'3" tall and not 5'3" wide, because if it's 5'3" wide, Metagross is tiny. But I'm pretty sure it's tall. Various noises of gastrointestinal distress. I'm usually stronger than this. I'm just sick as a dog. Sailor, though. So, on the one hand, Outlander, yeah, Arceus isn't some giant godlike figure or whatever. But on the other hand, saying it's only around the size of an average elephant elephants are megafauna. Like, if you see an elephant in the real world interacting with real world things, it is very striking just how enormous and powerful those things are. Like, yeah, they're only about 10 feet tall, but they use it. Things can topple cars with ease. Like, you ask a trainer at a zoo who works with elephants, and they will tell you that, you know, if an elephant does not want to do something, you cannot make them. Mega Gallade is only 5'3". What a shrimp. Which, incidentally, is the same height as Galarian Zapdos. Which, 5'3" is actually pretty short for an ostrich, isn't it? I mean, I know it's not exactly an ostrich, it's kind of ostrich roadrunner hybrid thing.
If this goes here and that goes over there, and where does this thing go? What about that doohickey? Ah, I can't make heads or tails of this. You. Oh, sorry, I'm Doc. Captain Stern commissioned me to draw up designs for a ferry. Oh, those parts you have, those are the Devon parts. But, this won't do. I guess Captain Stern is probably off at the Oceanic Museum again. Sorry, but could I ask you to find the captain and give the parts to him?
Feels weird that Mega Blastoise isn't any bigger than regular Blastoise. Just adds armaments, does not change size whatsoever. Excuse me, please go through reception. Welcome to the Oceanic Museum. The entrance fee is 50 Pokédollars. Would you like to enter? Enjoy the museum.
I didn't have 50 Pokédollars, so it took a long time to get past the receptionist.
So, when you think of Pokédollars as dollars, that makes sense. When you think of Pokédollars as yen, which is what they are, this dude didn't have, by current exchange rates, approximately like 33-ish yen? Or 33-ish US cents, rather? 50 yen. Like, imagine the entry fee to get in somewhere being 2 quarters. And you not having 2 quarters. And so the receptionist argues with you for a while about whether or not you can go. Oceanic Mini Fact 1. Why is seawater blue? Light is composed of many colors. When light passes through water, most kinds of light lose color. However, blue light retains its color, making the sea appear blue. That's not exactly what happens. Oceanic Mini Fact 2. Why is the sea salty? Seawater contains dissolved salt in the form of sodium and chlorine ions. These ions leach out of rocks.
The concentration of dissolved salt makes the sea salty.
We were told to assemble here, so we did, but the most important person, our boss, isn't here.
Rubber ball is expanding and shrinking. In the sea, the weight of water itself exerts pressure. In shallow water, the pressure is not very heavy. However, in extremely deep water, the pressure can reach even tens of thousands of tons on a small area.
Yep, and in fact, the pressure of the sea increases at a rate of approximately 1 atmosphere per 13 feet, if memory serves.
It's a fossil with wavy ridges on it. Soil on the ocean floor gets scoured by the tide. The flowing seawater marks the soil with small ridges and valleys. If this soil becomes fossilized, it is called a ripple mark.
Screaming noise. What are you doing here? Me, I'm the Team Aqua member you thumped before, remember? Here, take this. You have to forgive me.
Walrain's only 4'7", which is tiny for a walrus.
Oh, darn it, you screwed up our plans. You so screwed up our plans. I was gonna steal something to make up for it, but just you wait, you'll get yours one day. Yeah, Outlander, you can in fact feel the increase of pressure if you go to the bottom of a 10-foot deep pool. Which, every time I talk about water pressure, I'm reminded of an episode of Futurama. Great show if you haven't watched it. Oh, if you haven't watched it, I don't know if we're allowed to be friends. And yeah, it's a whole thing. In one episode, the Planet Express ship, a spacefaring delivery vessel, gets dragged underwater during a fishing expedition. And everyone on board is freaking out about, we're getting dragged underwater. How, can it handle the pressure? And Professor Farnsworth, the guy who runs the company and owns the ship and everything, when asked how much pressure the hull can handle, replies, well, it's a spaceship, so I'd say somewhere or anywhere between 0 and 1. Yes, 0 and 1 atmospheres of pressure for a spaceship. Makes sense. If our goon didn't bungle things in Rustboro, we wouldn't be here.
A blue fluid is spiraling inside a glass vessel. This is an experiment to create a whirlpool artificially using wind.
If I stole the stuff here, would it make me rich? No.
A red ball is bobbing up and down inside a glass vessel. This is an experiment simulating a waterfall using the ball's buoyancy.
Excuse me, why is waterfall capitalized? Are you simulating the move waterfall? Because if not, I don't think you need the capital W here. I can do bad stuff using my power. Is that really just what you say to people?
It's a sample of beach sand. Stones from mountains are washed down by rivers where they are chipped and ground down. They are reduced to grains, ending up as beach sand. It's a sample of soil from the ocean floor. Over many years, the remains of life forms settle at the bottom of the sea, making sedimentary layers. Analyzing these layers reveals the ancient past. A strange machine is rotating under a glass dome. Maybe it's for measuring the depth of something.
It'll never happen, but it'd be pretty interesting if at some point they made a Pokemon inspired by the whale fall phenomenon.
Oceanic Mini Fact 3. Which is bigger, the sea or the land?
That depends on what you count as land and what you count as sea. In terms of surface area, our planet is approximately, 70 to 73% water? So the sea is bigger by surface area, but if you go by volume, the sea is also bigger. Unless you, like, measure all the way down to the Earth's core, which technically could be considered land, even though you have to go past molten rock to go there. Is molten lava, or molten magma, I suppose, it's underground. Is molten rock considered land? The sea covers about 70% of the planet, and the rest is land. The sea is therefore more than twice the size of land. Again, I wouldn't use the word size here. I would use area. Model of Hoenn region. It's a miniature diorama of the Hoenn region. Whoa, really? Where is Little Root Town on this? Little Root Town is a little bit up and to the left of the left part of Maze Bow. Like, the left part of Maze Bow is currently right on Slateport where we are. Yeah, Little Root's just a little bit up and to the left of there. Kanto water quality sample, the label says. The sea is all connected, but the water seems to differ by region. Johto water quality sample, the label says. Maybe the water's saltiness differs from one region to another. Sinnoh water quality sample, the label says. Oh, this is the kind of content we only get in the remake. The water from melted snow contains a lot of nutrients, such as minerals, for example. Unova? Unova water quality sample, the label says. Again, remake exclusive content right here. Water hardness is a measure of the amount of calcium and magnesium it contains. Kalos? Oh, more remake content. The hardness of Kalos' water often exceeds 300 ppm. That's characteristic of the water in Kalos. It's a display on the flow of seawater. Near the bottom of the sea, water flows due to differences in such factors as temperature and salinity. It's a display on the flow of seawater. Toward the surface, seawater flows as currents driven by the winds. A video is playing of a guy with a wacky hairstyle, who could be a scientist conducting an experiment with some sort of machine. Because of this, when you dive into the sea, you feel discomfort in your ears. Ah yes, pressure.
Yes? If you're looking for Stern, that would be me. Ah, those must be the parts I ordered from Mr. Stone at Devon. Thank you for bringing the case all this way. Now we can prepare for our expedition at last.
Hold up a moment. We'll be taking those.
What was that? Who are you people?
We're Team Aqua. Our boss wants the parts in that case, so shut your yap and fork it over. Outlander, I'm in full agreement that this museum contrasting with Team Aqua's obsession with water is very nice. I don't think Team Magma gets any similar thing. Whoa! Which is kind of sad, but I'm fine with it. Team Aqua's better anyway. Ah, I got beat by a little brat. Oh man, what a disaster. The boss is gonna be furious. Sniveling wimp. Stand back and watch me, the 27th strongest member of Team Aqua, take care of this kid. I wonder, are there exactly 26 more Team Aqua members to fight after this? If so, that would be fantastic, and I would love it. But I don't know how many more there are after this guy. And I don't know that I'm going to remember to keep count. Hang on. I have an idea. A brilliant idea. Just give me a moment. Okay, my brilliant idea has been superseded by an even more brilliant idea because I was not going to remember my first brilliant idea. See, I've got one of those hand counters, you know, little kind of pocket watch shaped thing with a little button on it that you click and it makes a button or makes a little counter go up by 1 every time you click the button. I've got one of those. I was going to use that to just keep track of number of Team Aqua people beaten. But then I considered that that doesn't say anywhere what I'm counting, and I would certainly forget to keep counting at some point. But here's what I can do. I can put something permanently on the screen for the duration of this playthrough. And here's what I can do. Grab that, bring that down here. Make it a little smaller, it's not that important. Then we'll add another. Hang on. How do I want to edit the text. I don't remember how. How do I edit text in OBS? And Outlander, he said he was the 27th strongest Team Aqua member, not the 27th strongest Team Aqua grunt. So we have to count every single Team Aqua person that we battle from this point on. Ah, there's how I add it. Okay, but I can't do a second line. So I do have to do a second text source. Okay, now I gotta take this, make it smaller. Well, not make it flip. This is too long. It's gonna be annoying to work with. But we'll get there. Not flip, not flip. There we go. And now, it's a joke that people will understand, and so will we. Truly, this is the most important part of this playthrough, is finding out if the thing this one grunt said is as hilarious as it could possibly be. Or if he's just a darn liar. Oh, I'm sorry for making it illegible for you, Curbster, but alas, I need it to not be flipped. Though actually, I can read text that's upside down with zero issue whatsoever, as long as it is rotated and not mirrored. If it's mirrored, it gets a little tougher. But if it's rotated 180 degrees, zero issue whatsoever. What? She beat the 27th strongest grunt in Team Aqua. Okay, so 27th strongest grunt. So we do need to count grunts, not just Team Aqua. So hang on. I am updating the text of our very important experiment that is going to be the entire reason for this playthrough at this point. This matters. Now what? If we don't get that case, we're in for it. I never thought we'd be stopped by some meddling kid. So yeah, well, we need to see. But here's the thing. If we get a number that's more than 26 more, then we have to consider whether or not we are rebattling any, because we know we've rebattled at least one Team Aqua Grunt before. What do we have here? I came to see what was taking so long just to steal a few parts, and I find you simps getting beat by this kid? You know, I believe Maxie used the word simps in the original games, but I don't think Archie did. And in this case, their use of the word simps far predated the modern sense of the word on the internet these days. And in this case, it was just a shortening of simpletons. Heh. That's quite a fierce expression for such a wee little scamp. That face tells me you're not just another mindless trainer brat. The name is Archie. The rough-looking lot you see here are members of my team, Team Aqua. So tell me, girlie, do you know that Pokemon people and all life in this world depend on the sea for life? That's right. The sea is an irreplaceable treasure for every living thing on this planet. But with our selfish extravagance, humanity dirties the great ocean, destroying this source of all life. Day by day, we're all destroying our most precious resource. If we humans suffer from our actions, well, maybe we'll end up getting what we deserve. But what about the Pokemon in our world? The Pokemon that no longer have a place to live because we stole and soiled their seas. The Pokemon that won't have a place to raise their young and watch them grow. We are creating a world in which innocent Pokemon suffer as a result of our actions. And that is something I can't forgive. That's why I came to a decision, see? The foolish actions of my fellow humans, the seas we have blighted, nature itself, I will return everything to its unspoiled beginnings. Yeah. It's not like me to talk so much. Never mind, little scamp. I'll withdraw for now and leave you be. But understand this. Get in my way again and you won't walk away unscathed next time. Remember that at least. We're moving out, lads. There's a few words that Archie said in there that made me really consider giving him a Scottish accent before realizing I can't do a proper Scottish accent. If I tried, it would probably be very offensive.
Young lady. Ah, Garnet, is it? That was quite a tense situation. Thank you for helping me out. Oh yes, I almost forgot that you brought the parts from Devon. This is it. I can't be standing around here. It's finally time for us to set out on our ocean floor expedition. Thanks for this, and excuse me.
The SS Anne, a replica of the luxury liner that circles the globe. The Royal Unova, a model of the Sunset Cruiser currently being built in the Unova region. It's scheduled to be complete in blank years. The number is too faint to be read.
So are we going to get to go on it when they eventually do their Unova remakes?
Submersible Pod, a replica of a compact unmanned pod for seafloor exploration. Prototype Submarine Explorer Zero, a replica of the high-performance submarine for ocean floor exploration. An improved model of Submarine Explorer Zero, Submarine Explorer 1, is in use now. The Ferry SS Tidal, a scale replica of the ship under construction at Stearns Shipyard.
Why would you have your centerpiece for this? Oh, there's suddenly more people here. Why would you have your centerpiece for this floor's displays? The largest model you have on display be for a ship that's currently being built and not, say, one of the most famous ships in the world. Yeah, Curbster, both Archie and Maxie got great redesigns for this game. They made Maxie such a nerd, I love it. Wow, this submarine's awesome. I want to go for a ride. Don't run around inside the museum.
Looking at this model of a ship here reminds me of Mr. Briny on Route 104, which is where he lives, in case you forgot.
Literally the fourth time they've had an NPC tell us Mr. Briny lives on Route 104.
Oh, do you perhaps like Pokemon?
They're okay, I guess.
I'm on assignment with the TV network. I'm gathering current stories on Pokemon and trainers. If you don't mind, could you tell me something about yourself?
Nope.
Oh, I see. Well, if you do have an interesting story to tell, please let me know. I want to see Pokemon. I think it would feel cool and nice to hug.
Try hugging a Wailord, kid.
The sea is vast and without end and infinitely deep.
No, it is not, sir.
There must be many Pokemon that we don't know about.
Yeah, if you think the sea is infinitely deep, no. It isn't.
I want to learn about the sea and use that knowledge for battling.
Though, to be fair, there are, at any given time, typically more people in low Earth orbit than at the average depth of the ocean.
I get all giddy and gooey when I see the sea. Ew!
Ew! Why gooey? You could have used any other word.
For me, Captain Stern is the #1 role model.
Any other word would have made that better. Yeah. going to force us to the contest hall, aren't they?
Hey, that's Lissia and Ali doing a shoot over there.
Or is it Ali?
Are you serious, Lissia? Let's go.
So Altaria just kind of floats. Doesn't have to use its wings or nothing. Just floats there up and down with his legs just sticking out.
Hi, everybody. Lissia here. Me and my Altaria, Ollie, have come to Slateport City's Contest Spectacular Hall for a bit of fun. Well then, watch me as I dive right in again today.
Cheering noise.
Dazzling, dizzying, doldrums defying. Lissia's miraculous contest scouting. Start! Lissy, scout me to be your next boyfriend. Lissia, Ali! Alrighty, I'm going to bring another fantastic trainer into the wild world of contesting. Eeny, meeny, miny. You there, watching me with that baffled expression on your face. Hi! Have you never joined in a contest? That's just what I want to hear.
Actually, I've joined in several contests. You might not know this, but my Metagross is the cutest Pokemon alive. And yes, Curbster, the deep sea is cool and weird.
And let's get this show on the road. This is the trainer I'm going to scout today. And her name is...
Garnet.
Garnet. When I took a good look, I could easily see that Garnet is a powerful trainer with several badges of her own already.
If you subscribe to the notion that 2 is several, which technically it is. Several is more than one but not many, by definition. But it always feels wrong to use it for fewer than 3. And it also feels wrong to use it for 7 or more. So for me, personally, I will only ever use the word several if I am referring to a number of things that is between 3 and 6 inclusive.
Garnet, you can enjoy contest spectaculars at the Pokemon Contest Hall right here. Now listen up, because I don't just want to see you making your Pokemon strong. I want to see you bringing out a whole new brilliant side of them to show off. So here you go, take these. This is a contest pass, which is the first thing that anyone needs to take part in a contest spectacular. And this one is a Pokeblock kit, which will let you make Pokeblocks for your Pokemon out of berries.
Yeah, new Pokemon Snap did have some really cool things to look at. I wish it ran better on the original Switch. I bet it runs better on the Switch too. I haven't tried it yet, but I wish they would patch it so that it would be higher res on the Switch too. See, Outlander, the reason I don't include 7 in several is because, yeah, while they share a first syllable, the word 7 is a syllable shorter. Why would you not say 7 instead? It's easier and faster. Just say 7 instead of several if you mean 7. And if you've got a number that no longer counts as several, then saying several for numbers past that feels wrong. So yeah, that is why for me, several is 3 to 6 inclusive.
Garnet's story begins today. Yep, and this chapter should be titled A sudden encounter, miraculous contest scouting. That's what I'd call it. Now, everybody out there watching, you'd better expect great things from Garnet, because I do. That's it for today's Lycia's Miraculous Contest Scouting. See you all next time. Altari to you too. Clap, clap, clap! Lissy, you're so cute! If you feel up for it, try your hand in a contest for me, okay? Laughing noise. If we go do a contest, doesn't that get us Cosplay Pikachu, who can't leave this game under any circumstances? Just looking it up. Yep, Cosplay Pikachu is in this game and cannot leave this game under any circumstances. But the question then is, do I want to get one? Maybe. Because one of the contest Pikachus is actually pretty decent in terms of the moves it gets. But are its stats just regular Pikachu stats? I don't recall. Yeah, I guess its stats are just regular Pikachu stats. So if I had a light ball, it would be absolutely worth getting, but I don't. So goodbye, contest Pikachu. Excuse me. In here we can get an Electrike as well as Plusle and Minun. Or we could get Zigzagoon. Yeah, Curbster, costumed Pokemon not being allowed into home is lame. I have a feeling the reason Pokemon Go introduces so many costumed Pokemon and doesn't let them transfer is specifically to basically just scam more money out of people who have a compulsion to collect things. Because, hey, if you don't want to just release all your costume Pokemon, they're going to be taking up space. And if they're taking up space in a game where space costs money, you're going to have to pay more money to get more space. And yeah, that's almost certainly exactly the reason that they keep on doing costume Pokemon and Pokemon Go without letting you transfer them out. Just to encourage spending on the game. On the subject of encouraging spending on the games for storage, please, Pokemon Company, let me pay for a higher tier of banks or of home subscription that gives me another 100 boxes to use. I would buy that. I am getting a little low on space if I don't start deleting things. And deleting my Pokemon that I put in there because they're my Pokemon feels wrong. Like, I have deleted a bunch of ones that I don't have specific memories with. But, like, it's eventually gonna get to the point where if I keep doing what I'm doing and catching one of everything of every form from the game that it was originally introduced in or remakes of said game, yeah, I'm gonna run out of space eventually. Electrike, the lightning Pokemon. Electrike runs faster than the human eye can follow. The friction from running is converted into electricity, which is then stored in this Pokemon's fur. Quick, what's Electrike's speed stat? Because if it runs faster than the human eye can follow, then we'll know exactly how fast they think the human eye can follow things. But yeah, at one point, my plan was to get one of every form of every Pokemon with every possible origin mark. But that I had to give up because there would be no space for any Gen 10 Pokemon in Pokemon Home if I had completed that project. And the thing is, I had actually done it up until the Gen 7 point before I gave that up. But that was also before I started doing doing all my collecting in Pokeballs, so almost all of them were in Quick Balls or Dusk Balls. But like, yeah. It's... If you're a collector who likes to have a complete collection of some form or other, Pokemon Home space is at a premium. I'm legit at the point where I'm considering subscribing on a second account. But what I really want is to just have the storage on this account be bigger, so that I don't need a second account, because I want them all in one place. Also, we can get Gulpin here. I forgot that Gulpin was on this route. Oh. Alright, let's hope this ball works and we don't have to deal with Yawn. Okay, good, because if we did have to deal with Yawn, there was a good chance we'd have to go searching through the rest of the mansion for some serum. And who knows what would happen to Richard then. Yeah, what I do, Curbster, or what I did before I quit Pokemon Go after it got sold. What I did was I only kept one of each form of Pokemon, with each costumed form counting as a form. So, like, I did have 2 Raichus, for example, because there's male Raichu, female Raichu that got visual differences, even within the costumes. But, like, I didn't keep any extras. I only kept Pokemon that were visually unique. Gulpin, the stomach Pokemon. Most of Gulpin's body is made up of its stomach. Its heart and brain are very small in comparison. This Pokemon's stomach contains special enzymes that dissolve anything. And now Mudkip is allowed to evolve. Alright, we found another Plusle. And yeah, it is the awkward 3D Marshtomp, but could be worse. Mudslap shouldn't KO, right? It's just Mudslap. Sure, it's super effective, but it's just Mudslap.
super effective and stab, but it's just Mud Slap. So I have just now been reminded of a draw the rest of the owl moment that I believe I saw. It was either earlier today or it was last night. I forget which. We've already got stun spore. I don't need poison powder. You see, apparently, Ludwig, a huge Twitch streamer, did an experiment to see how easy it is to get a new channel on Twitch up and running, etc., without relying on his existing fan base or name or anything. Apparently, he streamed for 4 hours before getting a single real chatter. And one of the lessons on how to get started on a streaming career, etc., or whatever, was, you know, don't stream to nobody. Focus on making some really good clips that you can share everywhere. And then try and convert your first few chatters into your biggest fans. Which, hey guys, I see that number 1 and number 2 next to your names. I do appreciate you guys being on my streams so often. It's very nice having you. Legitimate. But then the draw the rest of the owl moment was convert those first few chatters into a community. And that was just the step. No, like, oh, how do you go from a few chatters to a larger community? No, just do it. And yes, Curbster, I do in fact plan to do Arkveld in FF14. I actually just resubbed last week and got my gear up to a point where I should be able to do Arkveld when it drops. Went and made the most recent tier of crafting gear and etc, etc. So yes, I will be doing Arkveld in FF14. Don't know if I will stream it or just record it, because it's an MMO and you gotta worry about other players and things they may or may not say. So I think it'll probably end up being recorded instead of live. Plusle, the cheering Pokemon. When Plusle is cheering on its partner, it flashes with electric sparks from all over its body. If its partner loses, this Pokemon cries loudly. But yes, there will be FF14 Arkveld on this channel. It will happen. So, fun fact about Omega coming to Monster Hunter, though. FF14 Omega was added to the game as a fightable boss after Rathalos was. Only about a month after, but Rathalos became a fightable boss in FF14 before Omega did. And now Omega is coming to Monster Hunter. And that's just interesting to think about. On the subject of Omega coming to Monster Hunter, because of that announcement, a bunch of videos on YouTube talking about Omega in the Final Fantasy franchise have been getting a surge of views, surprising nobody. And I actually had one recommended to me in my recommended feed from 4 years ago that basically just discussed Omega and its role and appearances throughout the Final Fantasy franchise. And when they were talking about Omega in Final Fantasy Explorers, this video from 4 years ago used footage from my channel. And that was just interesting, seeing, you know, a character named Redmond fighting Omega in someone else's video. And sure enough, yeah, it was specifically from my channel. It had its audio muted and the guy was talking over it and it was less than 30 seconds, so like totally fair use, 100%. I'm not about to say, "Oh no, you can't do that. That's my footage." Rawr. I just would have liked some attribution, you know? But it was very interesting seeing footage on a 4-year-old video from my own 9-year-old video. What? Just in the wild. Footage from my channel. Incidentally, on the subject of this channel's age, on August 24th, this channel turned 10 years old. 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago now. I uploaded my first video to this channel. And Curvster, if I hear someone singing "Come Ride Heroes Ride" in Monster Hunter Wilds, it will be an interesting experience. Dang. Was hoping that would be a Minun, but I can't even reach it. And it was a plus anyway. 100% the same crap. Of course, I know Minun's only a 1% encounter here in Alpha Sapphire, but it's an encounter that I can get, and therefore I must try. Which basically means we're just going to be here for the rest of the stream, which isn't going to be very long, honestly. So actually, let's not be here for the rest of the stream. Let's say hi to these Team Aqua Grunts. Let's keep going through Route 110 and head for Mount Chimney. Wow, that's quite far. Why don't we take a rest in Mauville City? It's on the way. Great idea. I would go anywhere to show off my delightful Pokemon. Just gonna give this thing a couple mud slaps, because I don't want to risk static. Truly, when your opponent clicks the same move multiple times in a row, it can't be because they want to keep using it, and therefore Encore is optimal. Thinking about those 10 years ago, when I started this channel, it's interesting. There's some things that I did that did not pan out. Some things that I did that did pan out eventually. Did I even... My Marshtomp had an Oranberry? Did that Plusle give it to me so that this Minun can have it? Gigabrain strats. But yeah, before I launched my channel, Monster Hunter 4U was not the only thing that I had recorded. It was the only thing that I launched with. I had also recorded a full run of Majora's Mask 3D, which I spoke about on multiple occasions, including when I actually finally did play through Majora's Mask 3D on the channel. Oh dear, this won't do. About how I had recorded the whole run, but the footage was unusable because it recorded in the wrong aspect ratio, so the screen was square instead of the rectangle that you see here. And it just, there was no way to fix it. There was lost information, and if I had stretched things out, it just would have looked terrible. So I scrapped that entire playthrough. Perhaps I should groom my Pokemon for the contest spectacular rather than for battles. I don't have a bike, so I'll take a leisurely walk on the low road. But Majora's Mask 3D was not the only other thing that I had recorded. I had also done a test recording with an actual camera trained on me that I could have potentially used for Pikmin 3. And that was going to be a no-death run. But that didn't get used because I realized that, you know, at the time I was recording basically just while reclining in my bed. And I realized that, hey, having a camera trained on me while I am literally just in my bed would be A, really awkward, and B, watching the footage back, it's me looking up at a TV screen. Hardly any movement. Wow, was it unwatchably boring. So, like, yeah, just do the gameplay alone. You don't need a live me reaction, especially from the very unflattering angle that it had to be taken at, just due to the realities of my setup. So yeah, because of that, we ended up landing where we are now, which is just, I'm not on screen, you only hear my voice. I found some cool Pokemon in the tall grass around here. So yeah, Pikmin 3 is another thing that was originally going to be on my channel, but never actually came to fruition. Someday, I'll go through the Pikmin games that aren't Pikmin 4, because I already did Pikmin 4. But that day is not today. Because actually earlier this year I replayed Pikmin 1 through 3. So it's a little too recent for me. Maybe next year the Pikmin franchise will be my franchise to try and get through in 1 year thing. But we'll see. Eventually, Pikmin 1 through 3 will be on this channel. I can promise that. I love those games. I wish I could have an errand, but I'm not allowed to until I get a bike. Can't believe they did me so dirty in this version. I've actually got some ideas that will likely never come to fruition. Being cool isn't enough to win for a VTuber model. That I... Like, it would be fun. But I don't know that I'll ever actually bother to get it done. Because A, if I make it myself, it's a whole lot of work. And I'd have to do a lot of learning. And it'd take time away from just gaming. It's hard to battle with Pokemon you just caught. And if I want to pay someone else to make me a VTuber model, well, that costs a lot of money. If you want one that's of any quality whatsoever. And this model would effectively be 2 models. Because, yeah, just the concept. Humanoid gobble. Regular human proportions normally, but then has inflated mode that goes to Kingpin in Into the Spider-Verse proportions. I think that would be fun and neat. But I'm not about to pay thousands of dollars for that. Hey Garnet, so this is where you've been. How have things been going? I was just checking out the Pokemon around here to help with my dad's research. He says that a long, long time ago, nature used to be way more diverse and there were lots more kinds of Pokemon too. My dad and I want to learn more about those Pokemon from the past, you know? That's why we do field work. And this journey has really helped. I've met a lot of Pokemon on my way here and learned about them too. Which reminds me, come on, it's the first time we've met in ages, so let's have a battle. Show me what you and your team have accomplished on your journey, Garnet. Look at this guy perpetuating the stereotype that Slugma's a Gen 3 Pokemon. It ain't. You're not helping people realize that, Brendan. So this Grovyle is not good for my Marshtomp. It outspeeds me, it's got Mega Drain, which is quadruply effective. So Marshtomp cannot take another hit, we know that. So let's just go ahead and swap out for Bird. Be fair, isn't this particular rival fight like the biggest reset point in speedruns of any Hoenn game? I'm pretty sure it is. But good news, Bird beats Grovyle. Oh right, my Poochyena also has Fire Fang. Brendan gets Wailmer way earlier than we can. And that Wailmer's got rollout, so Bird is not advised. It's time for Shroomish Gaming. Yeah, Outlander, I have considered doing that with my logo. But, like, it would feel wrong to do something like that without giving my logo an actual mouth. So, fun fact. At one point, I was considering... Oh no, my Shroomish! At one point, I was considering having a text logo as well as this icon logo that I've got. And what that would have been... Yeah, facial hair silhouette is fairly standard these days, but that's what it was. But yeah, the text logo, my idea for that, there was no way to make it look actually good. The plan was to adjust the shape of the beard and mustache such that the mustache looks like the letter M and the beard looks like the letter C. Rotate it 45 degrees clockwise and then have like an X of Redmond going down to the right and Stache going up to the right. But in the middle where they meet, the M and the C, it's like a mustache and a beard. Yeah, it would look so stupid. There's a reason I didn't do it. So wing attack is base power 60. Barrel ace is base power 60. So we would lose 15 PP and in exchange get flawless accuracy. Let's just get rid of focus energy. Yeah, at least the one thing about my facial hair silhouette logo that makes it at least somewhat stand out, it is the red stache. Whoa, not bad. Like, it's not all one color. There's at least that one element of interest in there. And I mean, hey, I would have been just RedmondStache instead of RedmondStache if there wasn't some marathon that already had a page called like the... No, it was... I think it was a brewery. Right, the Red Run is the thing that there was already. I think there was a RedmondStache brewery or something that kept me from taking RedmondStache on all the socials. And thus, did I have to be more than just RedmondStache. Had to add another syllable. I'm also glad that I didn't do the thing that I originally planned with... Back in the day, some people had names for their subscribers. Game Grumps, for example, called them their lovelies. Sheesh, Garnet, when did you go and train your Pokemon up that well? It's like, I don't know, it's pretty surprising, okay? Both our teams look pretty wiped out after that, huh? Here, let me help them out. I was originally going to be saying things like, oh, if you want to become a follicle, you can subscribe now. Because follicle, those are what make hairs in a mustache. And it's got the same first syllable as follower. And if you subscribe to someone, you're following them. So if you're a follower, you're a follicle because you're part of the RedmondStache. You could be a follicle. No. I'm so glad I decided against that, because it pains me to think about it at this point in time. And this is for you. That's a dowsing machine. Use it to root around for items that aren't visible. If it senses something nearby, it'll react, see? Truth is, once I started using it, I got pretty hooked on it. It's addicting. But I recommend you give it a try. Careful though, you won't be able to sneak up on Pokemon while you wear it. I guess I'm off to get started surveying the next area then. I hope you meet a lot of Pokemon too, Garnet. Alright. Well, given the time, it's about time for me to call this a stream. So thanks folks for dropping by to watch and chat and all that. Don't worry, I won't ask you to become follicles because I don't call my subscribers that. I call them subscribers. Wow. And sometimes friends. I mean, I do end almost every video on this channel with "see ya then, friends." But, yeah. I'll be back tomorrow with more Alpha Sapphire. So I will see you then, friends.